We begin this evening with breaking news and team coverage of the shootings of two Baton Rouge police officers here in our city.
It happened just before 1 o'clock on Conrad Drive near Winborn Avenue. We're going to start off right with NBC Local 33's Jonah Gilmore at the scene tonight. Jonah.
Conrad Street, about 100 yards from where the incident actually occurred. You can see in the distance we have every emergency responding crews out here. There's the Sheriff's Office, Baton Rouge Police, EMS, and we have 3 SWAT units that have repositioned themselves to kind of focus in on that house where a suspect has allegedly barricaded himself inside. Still very limited details, but since we've been here for a little over 3 hours, we have heard shots ring out, about 15 at one. And then there was about 3 more shots sound like coming from a handgun, and it's still unclear on if those shots were fired from inside of the house or fired from outside going in. But we do know that those officers, 2 Baton Rouge police officers, responded to a call here on Conrad Street. When they got here, they were shot. It is unclear on if those officers returned fire to the suspect and the condition of that suspect who's inside of that house. Again, details very limited, but heavy police presence here on Conrad Street. Here in North Baton Rouge, the perimeter is set up from North Foster to a nearby park about a mile down the road. Police have been going around the area, talking to people, trying to get information and piece together exactly what happened here. But of course, we'll continue to follow this latest developments, but we can confirm 2 Baton Rouge police officers were shot here in North Baton Rouge on Conrad Street. We're responding to a call here. And of course, we'll continue to follow this breaking news and bring you the very latest as it becomes available on air and online at weareproud.com. Reporting live in North Baton Rouge, Jonah Gilmore, NBC Local 33 News.
All right, Jonah, thanks so much. Well, NBC Local 33's Abby Rocha has also been following the shooting since the report started coming in just before 1. She joins us now live from the scene as well with details on what we know so far about what's been unfolding there minute by minute this afternoon. Abby.
Thanks, John. We are here on North Foster Drive, where we were told to wait to hear from the chief of police on the current conditions of those 2 officers. Now, Sergeant Elgene McNeely says this all began today around 12:30, while officers were responding to a call on Conrad Drive when things quickly turned violent. Now, the male suspect is currently in a standoff with police. Again, this is a developing story with a very active scene. State Police, SWAT, and the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office are all assisting BRPD. We have heard 2 series of shots fired in the area. Many streets around Winborn and Conrad are blocked off because, as you can see, there is still a large police presence out here. Now, it's best to avoid that area if you can because a lot of the roads are blocked off. Live in Baton Rouge, Abby Rocha, NBC Local 33 News.
All right, Abby, thank you. And there's also video already circulating of this incident on social media. We warn you, though, it's very disturbing. It actually shows the scene as the officers who were shot were being rushed to the waiting ambulance. You can clearly see here several emergency responders rushing the first officer down the driveway to the waiting ambulance. And then just a few seconds later in this video, you will see this camera turn back here toward the house, and you will see the second police officer being rushed from the scene to the ambulance. Again, they're both shot earlier today responding to that house there on Conrad near Winborn. Both officers taken to the hospital.
That hospital is Our Lady of the Lake, and that's where we find NBC Local 33's Dion Guillory picking up our coverage. Dion.
Well, Harrison, we've been here at outside Our Lady of the Lake Hospital for about 3 hours now, waiting to find out any information about the condition of any one of the officers who we have found out were shot in that incident. And I want to take you to our overhead camera because this is what's going to really paint the picture here for you. So you can see that there are 3 cars parked here outside of this area of the hospital. Now, we have seen lots of cars from Baton Rouge Police, the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, also Livingston Parish, the State Police, and also Ascension Parish officers coming in and out of the area. Also, I want to point out another scene we've seen here is that we've seen a couple of dozen motorcycle officers coming in and out of here. Also, another thing I want to let you know is that in the last couple of hours, we've seen the coroner's van come here. So we're waiting to find out more information about what is happening here. Something else I want to also point out to you is that we've also seen one officer from Southern University, their campus police, one of the officers' cars here as well. So we are still waiting to find out any information from Baton Rouge police here, or even people with the hospital, to find out what is the current situation with any of the officers' conditions right now. But of course, as we learn more information about that, we of course will pass it on to you. Live at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, Dion Guillory, NBC Local 33 News.
Dion, thank you very much. At this point, here's what we know so far from today's shooting. The incident happened at around 12:30. Between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, officers got that call and headed to the corner of Conrad Drive and Winburn Avenue. We do know at least 2 officers were shot. SWAT crews seem to be at the scene right now, trying to apprehend who they believe is one of the shooting suspects. BRPD Chief Murphy Paul, we were getting some messages earlier that they were going to be holding a news conference updating the public, but of course this is quite the fluid situation, quite the fluid scene where they would prospectively be holding this news conference. So we're still waiting word on that, but at this point we'll be giving you some additional updates. But first, a break here. Stay close.